All right. Let's talk about the NFL Week 16. Big news, if you guys didn't know this, there are no division winners yet. There's no division clinchers yet. Nobody has clinched a division in Week 16. It's first time since 2016 we've gotten this late in the year without one. And we
Sorry
have
about it.
a huh?
Sorry about it. That's on us. That's on us.
Yeah. So no t-shirts and hats have been given out yet. Packers are playing the Bears for the NFC North. Bears are -1.5, over under at 46.5. This is a Saturday game, so while you're locked in on your Oregon James Madison game, if it gets out of hand for any reason, I'm not sure it would, but if it does, you can flip over, watch the Bears Packers rematch from 13 days ago or 13 days prior to when this game's playing. Lambeau Field, they first game, Packers won that one 28-21. This is the first game without Micah Parsons for the Packers. He just tore his ACL. How will that defense hold up, and more specifically, the pass rush for the Packers? The Bears have been a great rushing team this season, all year long, top 5 in rushing. You would assume that they're going to be able to have a little more time to pass the ball. You're going to assume the play action might work a little bit better without Micah Parsons. Jordan Love, I feel like, just going to have a really good game, and he's been playing a lot better. In the last couple weeks, he had some rough interceptions against Denver last week, but they're down. He's trying to make some plays. LaFleur is going to have he's going to have to outduel Ben Johnson. He talked a lot of shit on Ben Johnson last time, said he always wants to beat him. He didn't last time. There was a little, crazy little tense handshake there at midfield last game. I'm not sure Matt LaFleur is going to be able to do that, though. I'm not sure Jordan Love's going to be able to do that, though. I'm putting some faith in the Bears. I like the revenge spot at home this week. I think the Micah Parsons injury is going to be huge. I think the Packers they've been winning games. They've been good. I think the game against Denver last week may have took some out of them. Christian Watson's obviously a little banged up. I mean, I just feel like the Bears are going to get it. I feel like they're going to get this one at home on a Saturday night. They lose to the Packers on Sundays all the time, but no one ever say anything about a Saturday.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up about Christian Watson, because if you look at the splits when Christian Watson is active and playing versus when he's not, this Packers offense is a lot better with him on the field. You couple that with losing Micah Parsons, losing a guy who's arguably the best defensive end in football over the last 5 years. I mean, maybe Myles Garrett, but outside of that, I mean, there's no conversation for anyone else, right? Losing that guy is going to take a toll. It's going to take a toll on that defense. And you think about the assets they traded away with that as well. It's really tough blow for the Packers defense. So, and I'll also say this. I mean, we can look at the success that Bo Nix had on them last week. Now, Bo Nix is a really shifty guy. It's one of his best abilities. Caleb Williams can run around too. I mean, and I'm saying, like, if I'm Matt LaFleur, or excuse me, if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm looking at that film and I'm going to try and recreate some of that with the legs of Caleb Williams. I'll also say this: Caleb Williams has been playing heck of a lot great football recently. Like, if you saw that throw that Caleb Williams had to DJ Moore last week in the 7 degrees weather that they were playing in, this guy's built for it. He had a slow rookie season, but he is. If I had a vote for most improved player in the NFL this year, it's going to Caleb Williams. I mean, the guy's looked night and day better than he did last year. So I'm going to go with the Bears as well to be able to get it done. The acrylic assassin, Caleb Williams, is going to be able to get it done.
Another vote from the Bears here for me as well. Last week, honestly, their performance on offense against Cleveland kind of convinced me. Before last week, crazy enough, once they lost to Green Bay, I was kind of like, well, maybe they're kind of frauds. You know what I mean? Like, they're just, they'll be a wild card team. They played well enough early in the year, but to say they're going to win a playoff game would be crazy. I'm kind of on board now because they did that against a really, really good Cleveland defense, and then also just absolutely made Cleveland's offense look elementary. And Shedeur has played well. He looked completely opposite of what he had done 2 weeks prior to that this past week against the Chicago Bears. And you guys bring up the injury stuff. It's huge. That stuff matters this late in the season, especially when you've kind of established your identity and you're going to have to go away from it. Like, losing Micah Parsons for a game is huge. Losing him for the entire rest of your run and what the morale level does in the building, player-wise, up front, what they're going to have to now battle to stop the run. I mean, that is a crucial part of winning football games. He's just as good there. He gets all the flash on the sacks and stuff, but he played run defense too. I'm just interested to see, like Jake said, with all the assets gone, they got rid of the D-tack Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark, yeah.
That's going to be hugely felt now that Micah Parsons is not there. We'll see how they bounce back. So I think the Bears get their own division win at home here.
Yeah, I mean, losing your best defensive player, then also losing your best pass catcher, it's tough. It's tough to rebound a week later and play in a rivalry game on the road. It's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
After you just had to take it from Denver on the road, and you just beat this team 2 weeks ago too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tape is fresh.
Yeah. And again, huge game for the NFC North. These division races are very tight. So the seeds, they're going to get shifted around hard. All right. Not a division game, but a huge game for the AFC playoff race. Jags are going to Denver to play the Broncos. Broncos are 3-point favorites. Over under is 46.5. Trevor Lawrence coming off the big game, which got him very close to winning the Player of the Week for Deep Shot Sports. Just one vote off.
Absolutely unreal.
Jags have won 5 games in a row. Broncos have won 11 games in a row. Huge game, as I mentioned, for seeding purposes. Both teams have slight leads in their divisions. Obviously, Denver has it over the Chargers. Almost said San Diego there. And then Jacksonville has it over Houston. So, both teams, if they lose, they're putting themselves in some dire situations where, the last 2 weeks are going to be very crucial, which they already are, but you know what I'm saying. The Broncos defense, obviously very well known. We've been talking about them all year, pretty much since last season. The Jags defense is definitely slept on, though. Best defense against the run in the National Football League. The Broncos are not much of a great running team anyway. They're kind of in the back half in NFL and rushing. The Jags are very vulnerable against the pass on defense, and Bo Nix is having a good year. So, Jake, tell me how the Jags win this game.
Man, I'll tell you this. The Broncos have an insane defense, but it's not just everyone wants to just look at Nick Bonito and look at the pass rush. No, I mean, it's a lot more than that. They have a really good secondary. They have good safeties. They have good corners. They have good linebacker play. They have good interior defensive line play. Then we know about their pass rush. They are good in every single facet of defense. Their offense is looking really good. Bo Nix is looking really good. Cortland Sutton's looking really good. Troy Franklin, I believe is his name, 14, new guy. He's looking really good. So they're 7-0 at home at Mile High. This is going to be a test. This is absolutely going to be a test. But I would look at Trevor Lawrence's stats over the last 5 weeks. He's number 1 in quarterback rating. He's number 1 in pass yards. He's number 1 in touchdowns. He's number 1 in all the other stats. He's playing the best football in the league right now. And this isn't a biased stat. This is a fact stat. Ever since Jacoby Myers has come to town, Trevor Lawrence has been playing out of his mind. It is improved Brian Thomas Jr. He was able to catch a touchdown last week. He's finally able to do what he needs to do, which is not run across the middle. It's to get downfield.
Could you imagine if Travis Hunter was still there?
I wish he was. Because you talk about the weakness against the pass. I mean, Travis was playing pretty good corner play before he got hurt. I wish Travis was still healthy. So I see all that, and while I say I think this is going to be a tough game for the Jags. It's going to be a really tough game. I think there's a path. I think there's a way. Travis Etienne Jr. has been playing really good as well. So Trevor needs to keep it up. He also, over the last 5 games, Trevor Lawrence has 11 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, 0 picks in 5 weeks. And, there were people, talking about my video I put up the other day saying, it's the New York Jets. I mean, Josh Allen threw for 140 yards and a pick against the New York Jets. I mean, you can look at plenty of games that it's the NFL. These are professional football players. I understand that some teams are worse than others, but it's still people who go out there and play football for money, for lots of money on that team. There's a lot of good players, and Trevor goes for 380 and 6 touchdowns and somehow does not win Player of the Week. Somehow.
Kyle Pitts, dude.
Ridiculous. Okay, here's my thing. We're going to see somebody else in the NFL go for 160 this week. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. We might see it. 3 touchdowns. I didn't say that part because that might not happen. But we're going to see somebody with 11 catches, 150 plus this week. We're going to see it. We aren't going to see somebody go for 380 and 6 tuds. That's not going to happen. If it happens, call me out, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I think the Jags can be able to get an upset. I like their odds. Yes, I'm a little biased on this. I mean, look at my background. If I was unbiased, I might have a different conclusion, but I'm not going to go on here and pick against the Jags. Give me the Jags.
Man, that background looks a little different than the one you were wearing back there earlier this year.
Yeah, it's going to stay like this until Raheem Morris is out of town.
Look, I just, you're talking about Trevor Lawrence's passing numbers the last couple games, and they've been phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I think if they put the ball,
not just phenomenal, the best, better than everyone.
Well, that's an opinionated statement.
No,
there. I
it's
mean,
not.
I know he had
It's
like
not.
five
It's not.
touchdowns.
It's not opinionated. It's not opinionated.
Some people
it's
literally
stats-based.
said that Kyle Pitts had a better game.
Well, they don't know ball, and I'm saying if we're looking over the last 5 weeks, saying that Trevor has been phenomenal, but is not accurate. He's been the best quarterback in the NFL.
And you're posting stuff on social media, you don't ever want to do anything just for the clicks. Like you don't.
Nope.
When you're in it based in Atlanta, and you put up Kyle Pitts versus Trevor Lawrence, like you
shocker.
I mean, like I said, no, we don't do anything for clicks here.
And I didn't even get the butt out of what I was going to say about Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's defending this guy like he is Michael Penix almost. But I think if you throw the ball 30 times in a game against Broncos secondary, I just don't trust your ability to keep the ball from going in their hands at least once or twice. Like they're going to turn the ball over if he puts it in the wind 30 times like he has the last 4 games on average, okay? And then I could just honestly question, I have not watched enough Jags football. Do you think they can block Denver's front the entire game?
They have good tackles. They have been protecting Trevor really well. They have good tackles. I mean, they haven't played Nick Bonitto. So
Nick Bonitto is a bad man. And I think there's a lot more other playmakers. I mean, the reigning defensive player of the year is over there in Pat Surtain, right? So, and he is one of 3 or 4 defensive backs that they've got that are extremely good. I think the Broncos win this game. I don't necessarily have a pick or a cover on this and that, but I just think that Denver is going to be able to hand the football off a little bit better than the Jags will against the Denver defense, and I think that the lesser throws are better because one of them's going to turn it over because these secondaries do play pretty well.
All right, should be a fun one. Your boy Art going, Caleb? It's a big game.
I think he is actually. I think he is.
Shout
if he's
out.
not going this week, he's going to the next week's game.
Shout out Art Toledo. See if
boy he's me and him have been chirping each other a lot because we're fighting for the 1 seed in our conference right now. I think he's going to get it. I think his team's better. I may have picked his team to win the division at the beginning of the year. I didn't think they'd be the 1 seed, but I thought they'd be close.
Well, let's talk about your team. The Patriots are going to Baltimore to play the Ravens on Sunday Night Football. Ravens are 3-point favorites, over under at 48.5. Pat's obviously coming off their first
clickbait. Talk about clickbait.
Pat's coming off their first loss in a while. Underdogs on the road against a desperate Ravens team. The Ravens have to get a win to stay alive in their division because it looks like, the Steelers and them, they're like 1 game off. But, I think if the Steelers get a 2-game lead, it's going to be tough. Look, you guys know I come over here and I give you guys stats. Look, I look at all the stats. I look at everything. I just don't say a way.
You don't see a way.
I don't see a way in which the Patriots should lose this game. Right, Caleb? Right? I'm being honest here. The Ravens are not a good football team.
Unless Lamar Jackson just starts playing like, MVP Lamar Jackson, which he has not been, but maybe, here and there all year. And it wasn't like a full game. He's done it yet. Unless that just comes out of nowhere and the Ravens just playing on fire, no, shouldn't happen.
Or the other scenario is, now, Jake, you tell me if this is a possible scenario. Or the Patriots frauds.
Yeah,
can
I think
I go to the bathroom
definitely
real quick before we start this?
I think there's definitely a shot. I think
I'll
there's
be right-
definitely a shot. And here's my thing. Yo, Caleb, come sit down. Come sit down. Caleb, come back. Caleb, come here. Caleb, come here.
I missed
Just
something.
sit down. Just sit down. Let me talk to you.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Let's talk this out. Listen, I'm not saying the Pats are frauds. I'm not saying it's a thing that is like etched in history and like they are as a fact. I think it's definitely a possibility they're fraudulent. I mean, this is a team that lost to the Las Vegas Raiders. Let us not forget that, right?
I mean, it's a possibility that gas should be free right now because oil is negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking?
That's a great
It's
comparison.
possible.
I mean,
I listen.
Possible?
I do think it's possible for the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. I think what we saw out of Derrick Henry last week finally getting going, and that's got to be scary to see. 11 carries, 100 yards, blowout win over the Cincinnati Bengals. They made Joe Burrow look terrible. He threw a pick six. This Baltimore defense is starting to come alive. I think they're playing good football. They're playing good football at home. Night game. The blackout's going to be sick. Then we're going to be able to see vintage Lamar. I think Lamar's going to have his best game of the season. I think they're going to take down the Patriots.
Okay, well, we've won 10 out of 11. So if you want to talk about who's playing good football, I think you look nowhere else in the NFL but New England currently. And look, I understand that the Ravens have been playing well this last week, just one week against Cincinnati, who, by the way, they lost to 2 games ago, 32-14. But they're somehow just, I think you're preying on the downfall, Jake.
No, I think the Patriots have great wins, over the Giants, over the Bengals, over the Jets, over the Bucks, over the Falcons, over the Browns, over the Titans, over the Saints.
Bills game.
That was the game before. And they weren't playing that good. And you did lose to the Bills last week, so that kind of nulls it out. And then over Carolina and the Miami Dolphins. So that's every single win y'all have this year.
Man, this guy. Okay, is this 60 Minutes? What are we doing on the team here? Like, who did the Broncos lose to at the beginning of the year? Huh? They're 12-2. They're the 1 seed. We didn't say shit about who they started off 0-2 to. I'm pretty sure they lost to the Steelers at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Steelers are better than a lot of the teams that y'all beaten. Like a lot. I think 10 out of the 11 teams y'all beat. I think they have a better record than.
It's possible we're fraudulent. It's also possible that we end the season 13-4.
Fair. And like I said, I'm not saying it's a fact that the Pats are fraudulent. I'm just saying there's a chance. I need to see it. I just need to see it. That's my thing. There's a lot. We're in week 16 of the NFL, and I still don't feel like I've seen it. True or false? Can you at least agree to that?
I think that I've seen the quarterback play well enough that I think we could beat anybody.
You think you can win the Super Bowl?
All those games over 300 yards, yeah.
I don't think we can win the Super Bowl because we're not explosive enough or good enough up front on offense.
But you can beat anybody.
In any given game, I don't think we can go on a consecutive run of games and beat people, though. I mean, we did win 10 in a row, but I don't think we're going to see New York, Cincy, Jets, Buffalo, Tampa in a row in the playoffs. Yeah. Well, look, this is a big test for this week, and we're dogs. We're 11-3, and we're dogs for a reason. I mean, I understand it's on the road; it'd be a split in the neutral site, whatever. Give me a break. We're 11-3, pal. And you're Vegas. This is clickbait. This is what we're talking about right here. Stuff like this.
Never.
Fired up. I have a pick later in this game, by the way.
I would never. I would never again ever do anything for clicks. It is hard nosed analysis that got us to 100 followers for 4 years. It wasn't until I would never start doing clickbait to get us to over 2,000. Never in my life. Okay, let's do our NFL best bets. Also, our jersey draft that we did. It's technically the poll's still up on that post. Again, follow on Instagram and TikTok. Right now I have the lead. There's still about 20 hours left to vote because Instagram doesn't let you do, a 24-hour poll. But it's if you go to the comment sections, go to our NFL uniform draft right now. I've got 42% of the vote. You guys both have 29%. So do with that what you will. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's get into our NFL best bets for the weekend. I'll start off. I feel like this year there has been more double-digit spreads in the NFL than ever before. Like, I think about last year, 2 years, any year. I never used to see it seems like every week you see double-digit spreads. I feel like I used to just literally never see them. Like you would see them once or twice a year. I mean, it's insane. I'm going with another big one though. Buffalo Bills are playing the Cleveland Browns on the road. They need to obviously keep playing catch up with New England to try to win the AFC East. I think I said the Bills last episode. I think they can win the Super Bowl. I think they can represent the AFC. I think the Browns are awful. I think Shedeur Sanders is awful, and he's going to have to try to outduel Josh Allen, who could be an MVP candidate. So I just really like the Buffalo Bills here. Must-win game. James Cook, by the way, if you didn't know, 1,415 rushing yards this year. Just an absolute dog. No pun intended. Give me the Buffalo Bills to beat the Browns, -10.
I like that one. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. Another one that really stuck out to me just looking is the Pittsburgh Steelers +7 on the road playing the Detroit Lions. Listen, I've said I feel like I've been the pro Steelers guy on the podcast this year, and I'm fine with it. I'm just an Aaron Rodgers truther. I think we saw some vintage A-Rod the other night against Miami. And they're not playing incredible football, but they've won 2 straight. They're playing the team against the Detroit Lions. Like, if you look at this defense, like what they've allowed over the last 4 weeks, they allowed 27 to the Giants, 31 to the Packers, 30 to the Cowboys, and 41 last week to the Rams. This defense for Detroit is not playing very good football. They're not playing very good football. They're turning the page, and they're starting to play better overall, but the defense isn't looking great. They've lost 2 out of their last 3. I think I'm going to go with the Steelers to be able to at least cover a touchdown. I think that's a crazy, stupid line to get them 7 points. If it was 3, I don't think I'd take it. It's a touchdown, I'll take it.
So I told you I had to pick later. In the New England game, I'm taking the underdog to win, cover, whatever you want to hear. I'm sick of this talk, honestly, about fraud this, fraud that.
Heart bet.
11 games later, 11 wins later, okay, we're sitting here as underdogs to a 7-7 team that just beat a team last week that their quarterback is talking on camera like he wants to retire. That's who they beat, okay? Give me the Pats +3. Can't understand what Vegas is thinking here. Maybe it's just to piss me off and Mike Vrabel and everybody else who pays attention to that. Let's go Pats, okay? I'm a little fired up just because I understand that after last week, there's going to be some doubts, right? There's going to be some naysayers, and we got to lank, if you know what I mean.
Let a naysayer know.
And this week is that week. Pats +3.
Not
On national TV, by the way. We're going to do it on NBC in front of everybody.
do it. Turn it around.
Next game, I'm going with something involving y'all's team. The Falcons are playing the Cardinals this week. I think this game is got over written all over it. Okay. It is at 48.5. I think the Falcons with Kirk Cousins has been serviceable offensively. Maybe Drake London comes back this week, add some more production for them on offense. And then also turn the page. Jacoby Brissett's playing like a top 10 quarterback statistically, like the last 10 weeks of the season. Whatever he's been, since he's been playing last month and a half, too, he's been on fire. So I think this game goes in the over 48.5 for sure, in the 50s.
I need Drake London to come back. I need him to play out of his mind. For both of my fantasy leagues I'm still alive in, I need him to go crazy.
Me too.
For my second best bet, we talked about this game. I'm going to go with the Jaggies. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars money line +136. I just can't turn a blind eye to the football that the Jags have been playing over the last 5 weeks. They're playing out of their mind. Trevor Lawrence is playing out of their mind. It's a huge game, man. I'm telling you, listen, if the Ravens can catch the Pats slipping this week and the Jags can take care of business in Denver, the Jags got a shot at that 1 seed. It's opened right up for them, right up. And we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. But, yeah, give me the Jags +136.
All right. Fun game going down in Nashville, Tennessee this weekend.
Oh, my God. No way you're picking this game.
The
There's
Gardner
no way you're picking this game.
Minshew-led Chiefs
Gross.
are going to play Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans, who are 0-7 at home this year. But give me the Titans +3 to cover against the Chiefs. Gardner Minshew known for, being a little careless with the ball. This Chiefs team has given up, and we know the receivers have had a hard time. The offense has not been meshing well with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. Okay, they're not going to mesh well with Gardner Minshew. Give me the Titans to pull off the slight upset here, +3. I love it. Also, well, here, let me give you my last pick. My last pick is I'm going to go with the Eagles -6.5. They're playing on Saturday as well against the Commanders. Commanders, another team that I think is just giving up. Yeah, they beat the Giants last week, but the Eagles, they beat the Raiders 31-0. All right, so they've got it figured out. We would assume that's what we're going to assume. Okay. And I just think the Eagles really need it. They need to put their foot on the throat, and I think they're going to do it. I think Saquon found a little something last week. They're going to keep that going. It's going to open up Jalen Hurts and not make many mistakes. A.J. Brown had a touchdown or two last week. I mean, just keep it going. Offense is going to score a lot of points. Give me the Eagles -6.5. Also, real quick, can you guys tell me the cheapest ticket in the NFL this week?
Jets Saints.
Caleb? So you're mute.
Where's the Saints game at?
New Orleans.
Yeah, it's got to be New Orleans, dude. They've been the cheapest all year.
Well,
Give me another guess. Give me one more guess. If it's not them, it has to be Falcons Cardinals.
so the set Jet Saints is at $14 to get in. The Falcons Cardinals is at $11.
Oh, no way.
And the-
Upset alert.
Dang, dude. And let me tell you, dude, I'm going to Arizona next week, or no, after Christmas, so like 2 weeks from now. Man, dude, I would have found my way to the red zone to watch this $11 game. I mean, come on.
Yeah, why not? Why not? So there's one game we did not talk about. That's pretty big. The Bucs and the Panthers are playing this week to put a stranglehold on the NFC South. I mean, I feel like the winner of this game, I don't think they clinch it, but I mean, pretty much put it away. Like if
No, they play again. They play twice. So they play.
do they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going with the Buccaneers on the road +3. I think they're a better team. I think the Panthers have been playing they've been playing good football, man. And I'm not on here gonna, down this team. They're definitely outperforming what they expected out of their squad this year. And I think Callahan is finding himself some things to work with Bryce Young, but I think the Bucs at the end of the day are just the better team. And I think we see these Cinderellas happen each and every year. Teams playing, a little bit outside their zone, but I think the Bucs are just finally going to be able to put this division away because they're the best team in the division. There's no question about it.
Can't beat the
What was the
Falcons.
line on that?
3. Tampa
Plus
Bay
or
minus. Tampa Bay -3.
Okay. I had one of that game wrote down as maybe, possibly, could be potentially the last pick for my game, and I had it, Panthers +3, and I was like, wait a minute, who's getting the free money here? Me or Jake? It's me, actually. I'm getting the money. Panthers +3 this week. I think that nobody wants to win the NFC South, so it might as well just be the Panthers. Why not? Why not? I think seeing what the Bucs were acting like at the end of last week, tough loss it may be, just didn't seem like anybody cared except for Mike Evans, in my opinion. And that's rare to say for a team that's got Baker Mayfield as a quarterback. So, look, I know they're well aware that they're in the midst of the division, all this and that. I get it. This would be special to win this game in Carolina, truly. Like, this is something they don't come across very, very often. When's the last time they won a division? Cam?
Yeah.
Gotta be. Super Bowl year?
Yeah, they was Super Bowl year.
Give me the Panthers +3.